girl be? Her eyes are open wide, and yet she's in a daydream that's better than real life. She knows a secret country where the grown-ups never go. Why, she's Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Curious friends and happy adventures too. Ooh, yes, she's Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, wait for us, we'll come too.
I can smell something good, can't you? I wonder what it is. I would say that it's... yes, it's sugar syrup. Mrs. Spicer must be making toffee. I think we should go and see what she's made. Oh! Oh! Hello, Mrs. Spicer. May I have one of those toffees you're making? Please, just one.
You'll have to be patient, Alice, dear. I've only just put the syrup on to boil, I'm afraid.
Please, may I help you then?
Oh, that's sweet of you. Be a dear and pass me that glass over there on the table.
Now you sit there, Benny Bunny, and behave yourself. Do you want me to hold it for you?
No, you can put it down, I think. Doesn't look quite ready.
Why are you doing that, Mrs. Spicer?
I want to see if the syrup's cooked long enough or not. The best way to tell is to drop some of it into cold water. Then if it turns hard, it's ready. And if it's soft, it still needs boiling a while longer.
Oh. I'd love to try and make toffee, but I suppose it's very difficult.
Oh, it's not difficult at all. It's the easiest thing in the world. A little sugar, a little syrup, a little patience, and a little time.
Alice, dear, what are you doing in the kitchen? You know you're not to be a nuisance.
I'm not being a nuisance.
Alice wants to learn how to make toffee, and the best way to do that is to watch.
I apologize, Alice. That's quite a different matter. I'm glad you're showing an interest in cooking. Here, try one of these.
Oh, what are they? What have you got there, Mummy? Ah, chocolates, my very favourite. Am I allowed one in between?
Yes, just this once.
Tastes lovely.
Alice, how many times have I told you you're not to speak with your mouth full?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Now, you be a good girl and go and amuse yourself up in your room. It's time for Mrs. Spicer and I to start preparing the supper.
Yes. May I have just one more chocolate first? And one for Benny Bunny too, so he isn't left out. Celia, Mrs. Spicer's busy
You
making...
shouldn't speak with your mouth full. How many times has Mother told you that, Alice?
And how many times has she told you to be less bossy? How can Celia be more interested in books than in chocolates?
A well-brought-up young lady doesn't speak with her mouth full. Apart from which, sweets are bad for the teeth. If you eat too many, you'll get big and fat. And a well-brought-up young lady says yes, not when addressed by a grown-up.
I know, but you just said that it's not done for a young lady to speak with her mouth full.
Oh, did I? And where did you learn to answer back, pray?
The caterpillar's in a very bad mood this afternoon, I think.
Quick, offer him one of your chocolates, Alice.
Yes. Oh, would you like one of my chocolates?
No, thanks. I don't care for sweets, unlike the Queen of Hearts, who can't seem to get enough of them.
Oh, what makes you say that, Mr. Caterpillar?
Yes, what?
She's bought up every kind of sweetened chocolate available in Wonderland, and she's hoarding them in the palace, which means that no one else can have any, not even the children. It's unheard of.
Then go to the Queen of Hearts and ask her for one.
As soon as we get home, I'll make you a pepper pudding. You'll have to be content with that.
Just look at that. And lots of other children in Wonderland are in tears. So much for our generous queen.
Empty? Why is the bowl empty? Well, never mind. We'll soon fill it up again. Guard, fetch some more sweets immediately.
Please, Your Majesty, there are none to fetch.
That's impossible. We possess every single sweet in Wonderland.
No longer, Your Majesty. We used to possess them. You've eaten the whole lot. You'd eat a horse if it was made of chocolate.
What's that?
Apologies, Your Majesty. Those words really belong to the King of Hearts.
Very true.
No disrespect, dear. I found the idea amusing, that's all.
Then permit me to acquaint you both with an idea that I find amusing.
What might that be, Your Majesty?
The pair of you thrown into prison. Now that we've established just who finds what amusing, you can find me some more sweets.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm at the end of my tether. I really am. There isn't a sweet to be had in the whole of Wonderland.
No sweets, no chocolate, no candy floss, nothing. I have an idea. If others can do it, we can.
What? There's not very much I can do.
Here's what we'll do. We'll make them ourselves, see?
Oh? How? I suppose you have a little recipe tucked away.
These chocolates are delicious, much tastier than carrots.
Benny, you know what Mummy always tells me? You're not to speak with your mouth full.
You mean it's no good asking me how to make sweets? I've never been at all interested in the subject. Sweets make me bad-tempered. And anyway, too many sweets are bad for the teeth, and they make you big and fat.
Pity. I was hoping I could count on my dear old friend Humpty Dumpty to help me out of my difficulty.
Why don't you ask the Duchess's cook? She ought to know the answer.
She won't. All she's capable of making is pepper pudding.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm very sorry, but we haven't any time for you today.
Oh, don't worry. I shan't disturb you at all. I just want to listen.
What have you got in that packet, Alice, dear?
A chocolate with nougat in the middle, Your Majesty.
Oh, how very nice.
Horrible.
What's wrong with Humpty Dumpty? Why is he running away?
I thought you just said that one must never speak with one's mouth full.
Might I ask where you bought them?
Nowhere.
We brought them from home, you see.
How many are left in the packet?
Oh. There's only one, I'm afraid, Your Majesty. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that's better than nothing. Could you bear to part with it?
But of course. Please forgive me for not thinking of it sooner.
Alice, I'm indebted to you. In fact, I owe you my life.
Poor thing. I think he's unconscious, Benny Bunny. Why was the King of Hearts in such a hurry? He's usually so thoughtful and considerate of other people.
Alice!
Yes?
Oh! Do you happen to know how one would make sweets?
I think so.
Good!
Oh, that hurt.
Please, Your Majesty, I come under my own steam.
Hang on, Alice, wait, I'm coming to help you. Hold tight, I'll save you.
What, pray, do you call this, then?
It's called,
It's a chocolate with nougat filling. It's very tasty, I assure you.
Chocolate. It looks rather like an overbaked bean to me. Are you absolutely certain it's a chocolate?
I'll test it just to make sure. Yet I'm certain, Your Majesty, it's a real chocolate, not a bean at all.
Well-brought-up little girls never speak with their mouths full. And apart from that, you have just gobbled up the last chocolate in Wonderland.
Oh, that was thoughtless of me. But if you like, Your Majesty, I'll make some more to make up for it.
What? You actually know how to make sweets?
Well, I haven't actually made them, but I think I know how to do it.
Alice, be quiet.
Mrs. Spicem told me only this morning that it's really very simple. All that one needs is some sugar, a little syrup, some patience, and time.
And an awful lot of luck.
Well then, I shall make a speech to my subjects. Herald, announce me with a fanfare. Where is the Royal Herald?
He left the palace in search of sweets and is not yet returned.
And how is anyone supposed to know that I'm about to make a speech without a fanfare? Guard, you are to take over the herald's duties.
Why me, Your Majesty?
I command you to, that's why. If you please. Pa-pa-pa, pa-pa-pa, pa-pa-pa. I hereby appoint this child sweet maker to the royal house of the Kingdom of Wonderland.
Thank you, Your Majesty. It's a great honour.
I just hope you know what you're doing.
Don't sound so worried. I manage all right. I only want to make a few toffees. That can't be too hard, can it?
Come, we're wasting time. The kitchen.
Right away, Your Majesty.
I suggest you start off with, shall we say, 40 or 50 pounds of toffee. And when you've done them, say the same quantity of peppermint humbugs. And when you've done the peppermint humbugs, I think 40 or 50 pounds of vanilla drops. And make sure you don't forget the barley sugar twists.
The fire looks about hot enough.
It's all guesswork, of course.
Well then, what was it again? A little sugar, a bit of syrup, and some patience. Now the syrup. We need a wooden spoon.
Please say if you need some help, won't you?
Yes, thank you, Benny. But at the moment, I think I'm managing quite well. It's coming on nicely.
Well, I've put butter on my hands. Is it necessary?
Yes, it's in order to stop the sugar from sticking to the fingers. At least that's what Mummy always says. Well, that's the first round done.
Hooray! Congratulations!
They look a little different from Mrs. Spicem's sweets, I suppose, but the main thing is they taste like toffee.
I'll be the toffee taster if you like.
No, Benny, not right now. You must wait until they've cooled down and become hard.
Oh. Tell me, has there been no word from the royal sweet maker?
No, there's been nothing at all so far, Your Majesty.
I hope she doesn't let me down. Go and see what's happening.
Go and see.
No, I've changed my mind. I'll go myself. And you will accompany me. It's very important.
Oh, really?
Why can't you do anything without first being told? It's very irritating. Open the door, if you please. All the same.
Your Majesty, delighted to see you. Looking fit and well, and though I dare say you'd think it quite in order to reprimand me for being so late, I have an excuse, Mother.
Out of the way!
How much longer now? Are they ready yet? Can I try one, please? Are you
Patience, Benny Bunny. Have patience. In a minute.
I haven't heard from you for so long, I was quite worried.
You've come just in time. Perhaps you would care to sample the first batch, Your Majesty?
I don't believe it. Toffees? Oh, what a clever girl.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Perhaps you'd care to try one and see if they taste as good as they look.
With pleasure. Really astounding when you consider that it's your first effort.
They taste all right?
I'll try another if you don't mind.
Please, as many as you like. How about you, Your Majesty?
Thank you.
And me? You promised. Please, may I have one too?
Of course.
Thanks.
All my own work. Very good.
I feel peculiar all of a sudden. What all over?
You've eaten too many sweets, most likely.
Nonsense, I only had 2 pieces. Tell me what is happening.
I told you you ate too many sweets.
Tell me at once what is happening. What did you put...
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I don't understand. I'm really sorry.
Not only that, you're the size of a football, and look at me. How will I ever fit into a rabbit burrow again?
The sweets. Oh.
Yes, the sweets. It's your fault. And you will make sure I return to my normal size.
Oh, I'd do that if I could in my own interests, but I don't know how.
If you don't have the answer, I suggest that you find it. You got us into this mess, and you will find a way of getting us back to normal again.
There's only one person I can think of who might be able to help us, and that's Mr. Caterpillar. Can you see him anywhere, Benny Bunny?
The only thing I can see is my own tummy.
Shocking. Oh, we've been looking for you. Found you at last. I'm afraid we have a small problem, Mr. Caterpillar.
Small problem? That's an understatement.
Yes, well, you see, I'm the royal sweet maker.
And we sampled them.
And now you're... Oh...
It's not very nice to laugh at someone who has a problem.
Yes, I know, but I can't help it. You really do look most extraordinary.
The King and Queen are also like this.
Ah! Well, then you'll just have to look on the bright side of things. After all, it could have been much worse. You might have dropped down dead.
But what's wrong with me? I can't walk around like this.
No, indeed, you have a point there. Tell you what, my mushroom might solve your problem. Break off a piece and eat it. A small piece should be enough.
Oh, thank you very much. Ah! Oh, dear, I'm so clumsy. Please forgive me.
Oh, don't worry.
How awful. I've broken your mushroom.
It really wouldn't be a problem if we didn't need the thing.
What do you mean?
Well, it's lost its magic power and can't help you now. You'll just have to get used to being the size of a hot air balloon.
There must be a way.
Well, we could try, I suppose.
I'll try anything, whatever you think, just as long as I don't have to walk round like a hot air balloon.
Very well, Alice. Then we must go to the Valley of the Mushrooms.
Yes, let's. How beautiful all these mushrooms are.
Yes, I quite agree. Please take me to that large one over there. See it? The big one.
Yes, I can see it. Over there. A mushroom of pure gold.
Take me there, please.
Yes.
And now, Alice, you can put me down on the little one in front of you. eat some of this mushroom, you'll return to your original size.
How can I ever thank you?
It worked, Alice!
This really is our lucky day. I can't begin to thank you. Please, may I take a little piece of mushroom along with me to give to her poor old majesty?
And for the poor King of Hearts.
Oh, by all means, put them out of their misery.
And you claim that this miserable little mushroom will help me?
Look what it did for us.
Yes, look at us, Your Majesty, just as beautiful as we ever were before.
Oh, I think it works.
I certainly feel much thinner and much younger than before.
And I feel much better.
We're saved, Your Majesty. We're saved. These sweets have just arrived from your sister, the Queen of Spades, as a gift. Isn't that wonderful?
Then you can send them straight back. Yes, I've given them up for good. I much prefer mushrooms. Please, my child, fetch me some more and make a nice salad.
If you don't mind, Your Majesty, I'd rather wait a bit till I've learned how to cook.
Do as I say. I happen to think you're an excellent cook.
Yes?
We've been looking all over for you. Mrs. Spicem's just made toffee, and she says we're allowed to try some.
No, thank you, Celia. Not for me right now. Please thank Mrs. Spicem for me and tell her I know how good they are, really. But once you've had a bad experience with toffee, it's very difficult to forget it. Mushrooms are much healthier.
Oh, dear, I don't know. She's never been like this. Usually she'd do anything to get a sweet. Alice, do explain what you suddenly got against toffees.
Oh, Celia, whenever I try to explain something to you, you don't understand anyway.
Alice!
Next time, the story of a birthday that isn't a birthday. Alice arrives in Wonderland and learns from the caterpillar that His Majesty the King of Hearts is about to celebrate his annual non-birthday. He celebrates this because he doesn't want to be a year older, but he does want to receive all his presents just the same. Quite a clever invention, isn't it? Because Alice, Benny Bunny and the Dodo aren't sure what to give the king, they decide to hold a magic show starring the Dodo, who claims to be the best magician in the world. Unfortunately, this isn't quite true. He's never done any magic before and doesn't know where to begin. Nevertheless, a jolly time is had by all. But more next time.
That girl be? Her eyes are open wide, and yet she's in a daydream.